The foundation of every achievement, every success, and every fulfilled dream begins with a simple yet profound principle: your standards. Standards are the unseen rules that govern your life. They are the expectations you set for yourself in every moment, the quiet agreements you make about what you will and will not accept from your actions, your behavior, and the results you demand. These standards are not just about goals written on paper or fleeting desires. They are the core values that shape the very essence of who you are. When your standards are high, they become a powerful compass, guiding your decisions, fueling your motivation, and pushing you to rise above ordinary limitations. But when your standards are low, they act like invisible chains, holding you back from reaching your true potential. Every choice you make, whether conscious or unconscious, reflects the standards you hold. When you wake up in the morning, the way you respond to challenges, the level of effort you put into your work, and how you treat yourself and others all echo the standards you have accepted as your baseline. These standards create a framework within which your life unfolds. If your standards are set on the lowest possible level, then the outcomes in your life will naturally align with that. It's not about luck or talent, but about the quiet, persistent force of your personal standards shaping everything you do. The most successful people in the world understand this deeply. They do not settle for average, and they refuse to compromise on what they believe they deserve. They hold themselves to higher standards because they know this is the only way to unlock extraordinary results. Your standards set the invisible boundaries of your life. They determine the size of your dreams, the courage of your actions, and the quality of your relationships. If you want to change your life, the place to start is with the standards you hold for yourself every single day. Imagine your standards as a thermostat in a room. If you set it low, the room stays cold and uncomfortable. But if you raise the thermostat, warmth fills the space, creating a comfortable environment where growth and vitality thrive. Similarly, raising your standards warms your life with energy, confidence, and progress. It forces you to elevate your behavior, improve your mindset, and demand more from yourself in ways that create lasting transformation. At the core, your standards define your identity. They are a reflection of how much you value yourself and your future. When your standards are high, you send a clear message to your mind and to the world that you are worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment. Conversely, when your standards are low, you unintentionally communicate doubt, complacency, and a tolerance for mediocrity. This is why changing your standards is the most powerful step you can take toward changing your life. It is the starting point from which everything else flows. This simple truth, change your standards and your life will change, is one of the most powerful tools you have. It's a key that opens doors to new possibilities, greater achievements, and a richer, more fulfilling existence. It starts with understanding that standards are not restrictions, but gateways. When you set high standards, you are not limiting yourself, you are liberating yourself from the chains of low expectations and unlocking a life of purpose, power, and true success. There is an invisible force that drives every act of success, a force so subtle that it often goes unnoticed, yet so powerful that it shapes the entire course of your life. This force is your personal standards. Behind every achievement, every breakthrough, and every milestone reached lies the unwavering foundation of what you expect from yourself. It is the silent energy that pushes you forward, even when no one else is watching, when motivation fades, and when obstacles seem insurmountable. Without this invisible force, success remains a distant dream. With it, success becomes an unstoppable reality. Your standards act as invisible boundaries that define what is acceptable and what is not in your life. They determine how far you are willing to go, how much effort you will invest, and how persistent you will be when faced with setbacks. When these standards are set high, they create a powerful momentum that drives consistent action toward your goals. This momentum is what separates those who merely dream from those who actually achieve. It fuels determination and resilience, qualities necessary to push through challenges and maintain focus on the long-term vision. Many people chase success without ever realizing that their own standards are holding them back. They set goals, make plans, and hope for the best, yet they unknowingly accept less than they deserve in their daily habits and mindset. This creates a gap between where they are and where they want to be. a gap that can only be bridged by raising their standards. When you elevate your expectations for yourself, you refuse to settle for anything less than what aligns with your true potential. This refusal acts like an internal compass, steering you away from distractions, excuses, and complacency. High standards do more than just push you toward your goals. They redefine your entire approach to life. They shape your attitude, your work ethic, and your choices in ways that become automatic over time. When your standards are high, you no longer tolerate procrastination, negativity, or half-hearted efforts. You develop a discipline that is rooted not in fear or obligation, but in respect for yourself and your vision. This discipline creates a rhythm of consistent progress, a steady climb upward that transforms ordinary days into stepping stones toward extraordinary success. When you begin to hold yourself to higher standards, you start to notice a shift in how the world responds to you. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach begin to appear. Your relationships improve because you bring more integrity, respect, and positivity into every interaction. Your confidence grows because you know you are living in alignment with your values and potential. This transformation does not happen overnight, but it is inevitable when you consistently raise the bar for yourself. Ultimately, this invisible force of high standards is the key to unlocking extraordinary results. It is the foundation upon which all success is built, the engine that powers achievement even in the face of difficulty. By raising your standards, you create a life that reflects your highest aspirations rather than your lowest fears. You stop waiting for luck or external circumstances to change and take full responsibility for the quality of your life. This is why understanding and embracing the power of your personal standards is essential. It is not enough to want a better life or to set goals. You must also demand more from yourself. This demand acts as a magnet, attracting the resources, people, and opportunities necessary for your success. When you truly internalize this, you begin to see that success is not something outside of you, but something that flows naturally from the standards you set within. Your invisible standards are your secret weapon. They create a powerful internal environment where success becomes not just possible, but inevitable. When you raise these standards, you unleash a force that propels you beyond ordinary limits and into a life of greatness. This is the true source of success, the quiet power that moves mountains from within. When the standards you hold for yourself are low, they quietly but steadily become the biggest obstacles standing in the way of your growth and success. Low standards act like a fog, blurring your vision and weakening your resolve without you even realizing it. They are the silent enemies that creep into your life, convincing you to settle for less, accept excuses, and tolerate mediocrity. The danger of low standards lies not in grand failures, but in the small, everyday compromises that slowly erode your potential and dull your spirit. Most people don't wake up intending to hold low standards. It happens gradually, often as a result of repeated disappointments, fear of failure, or a lack of clarity about what they truly deserve. Over time, these low standards become a default setting, an invisible baseline that governs what you consider acceptable. When you accept poor effort, excuses, or less than ideal circumstances as normal, you are unknowingly reinforcing a cycle that limits your possibilities. You start to believe that this is all life has to offer, and your ambitions shrink to fit within these narrow boundaries. Low standards also sabotage your dreams in a subtle but profound way. They create a gap between what you desire and what you are willing to do to achieve it. This gap breeds frustration, self-doubt, and a sense of helplessness. When your standards are low, it's easy to justify giving up when faced with obstacles or setbacks. Instead of pushing forward, you settle for comfort and safety, avoiding the discomfort required for real growth. This pattern repeats itself until what once seemed like a dream becomes nothing more than a distant memory or an unfulfilled hope. The impact of low standards extends beyond personal goals. It affects every area of life. Relationships suffer because you tolerate disrespect or neglect instead of demanding mutual care and respect. Your health may decline as you ignore the importance of self-care or discipline. Your career stagnates because you accept complacency instead of striving for excellence. Low standards create an environment where disappointment is normal and success feels out of reach. The consequences accumulate quietly but powerfully, shaping a life that falls far short of its true potential. Breaking free from low standards requires awareness and courage. The first step is recognizing how your current standards are limiting you. This may involve honest reflection or uncomfortable truths about where you have settled and why. But awareness alone is not enough. You must be willing to confront the fear and resistance that come with change. Low standards often protect us from uncertainty and risk, but they also keep us trapped. To rise above them, you have to embrace discomfort, face challenges head-on, and commit to something greater than your past patterns. The transformation that comes from rejecting low standards is profound. You begin to feel more empowered and in control because you are no longer a victim of circumstances or old habits. You build confidence as you prove to yourself that you can live up to higher expectations. This confidence fuels further growth, creating a positive cycle of improvement that elevates every part of your life. With higher standards, you move from merely surviving to thriving, from hoping for success to actively creating it. Ultimately, the danger of low standards lies in their quiet acceptance. They mask themselves as safety and comfort, but deliver limitation and regret. The choice is yours. Continue to live within the narrow limits of low expectations, or break free by raising your standards to match your true potential. When you raise your standards, you break the chains of mediocrity and open the door to a life filled with purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. Changing your standards begins with a shift in mindset, a conscious decision to refuse mediocrity and embrace a new way of living. This shift is not simply about setting higher goals or making a list of new resolutions. It's about redefining what you will accept from yourself in every area of life. It starts with the realization that the only thing holding you back is the agreement you've made with yourself to settle for less than you deserve. Once you see that clearly, the choice to raise your standards becomes not just an option, but a necessity. This mindset shift requires deep honesty and commitment. It means looking inward and acknowledging where your current standards have been too low, where you have tolerated excuses, half-hearted efforts, or limiting beliefs. It requires courage to face the uncomfortable truth that you have been allowing yourself to live beneath your true potential. But this honesty is liberating because it uncovers the power you have had all along, the power to change your life by changing what you demand of yourself. When you decide to raise your standards, you are making a statement of responsibility. You are telling yourself that your life is not a matter of chance, luck, or external circumstances. Instead, it is a reflection of your choices and the standards you set. This shift moves you from a passive mindset, waiting for things to happen or hoping for the best, to an active mindset where you take control and shape your own destiny. It is the recognition that if you want different results, you must be different, starting with your standards. Refusing mediocrity also means committing to consistency and persistence. Change does not happen overnight, and old habits and comfort zones will resist. The mindset shift to higher standards is like planting a seed that needs constant nurturing to grow. Every day presents opportunities to reinforce your new standards through actions, decisions, and thoughts. It is in these daily moments of commitment, choosing discipline over ease, quality over shortcuts, that your mindset deepens and your standards become unshakable. It's important to understand that this shift is a personal revolution. No one else can do it for you, and no external factor can force it upon you. It begins and ends with the choices you make daily. It means saying no to the easy way out and no to complacency. It means stepping out of the crowd that accepts average and joining the few who demand excellence. This requires mental strength and resilience, but it also opens the door to extraordinary freedom, the freedom of living life on your own terms, aligned with your highest values. Changing your standards is not about being rigid or unforgiving toward yourself. Rather, it's about developing self-respect and self-love that demand your best. When your mindset shifts, you stop accepting anything less than what honors your worth. You begin to act from a place of inner strength, knowing that you deserve success, happiness, and fulfillment. This shift fuels motivation naturally, because you are no longer chasing fleeting goals, but living in alignment with a powerful purpose. Ultimately, raising your standards through a mindset shift is the gateway to transformation. It is the first bold step on the path to a life where success is not a distant hope, but a daily reality. When you decide to refuse mediocrity and embrace responsibility, you create a powerful inner force that moves you toward your highest potential. This mindset shift is not just a change in thinking, it is a change in being. And from this place, everything in your life begins to change. Your standards don't just influence your actions, they define your very identity. The beliefs you hold about what is acceptable or unacceptable, what you deserve and what you will settle for, shape the story you tell yourself about who you are. When you change your standards, you rewrite that story and redefine your sense of self. This is a profound truth that too many overlook. To change your life, you must first change who you believe you are at the deepest level. Every person carries an internal narrative, a set of beliefs about their abilities, worth, and potential. These beliefs often develop over years of experiences, but they can also be reshaped by conscious decisions. Your standards are the framework for these beliefs. When your standards are low, your identity is built around limitation, self-doubt, and a sense of not enough. You might tell yourself things like, "I'm not capable, I don't deserve success," or "this is just how I am." These internal messages reinforce low standards and keep you stuck in patterns that do not serve your growth. On the other hand, raising your standards changes this narrative dramatically. When you demand more from yourself, you begin to see yourself differently. Your identity shifts from one of limitation to one of possibility and strength. You start to believe that you are worthy of success, capable of overcoming obstacles, and deserving of a life filled with achievement and happiness. This shift in self-perception fuels confidence and courage, allowing you to act in ways that align with this new identity. Changing your standards is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It's about peeling back the layers of old beliefs and recognizing your true potential beneath them. It's an act of self-respect and empowerment. By setting higher standards, you affirm your value and send a clear message to your subconscious mind: I am someone who does not settle. I am someone who strives for greatness. Over time, this message becomes ingrained, and your actions naturally align with the person you are becoming. This change in identity is powerful because it shapes how you approach every challenge and opportunity. When you see yourself as a person with high standards, you approach problems with resilience rather than defeat. You seek solutions instead of excuses. Your new identity motivates you to take risks, learn from failures, and keep moving forward. In essence, your standards become the foundation of a new way of being, one that opens doors to growth and success. The journey of raising your standards and changing your identity also deepens your self-awareness. You begin to recognize areas where you may have unconsciously accepted less than you deserve and start to make conscious decisions to change them. This awareness empowers you to live more intentionally, aligning your daily habits, choices, and thoughts with the person you want to become. Ultimately, your standards are the blueprint for your identity. When you change your standards, you change the very foundation of who you are and how you live. This is why changing your standards is more than a strategy for success. It is a transformation of self. It is the pathway to becoming the person capable of creating the life you desire. Embrace this truth, and you unlock a power within that can rewrite your story and shape a future filled with limitless possibility. The habits you cultivate daily are the practical expression of the standards you hold. They are the small, consistent actions that over time build the reality you live in. Changing your standards means changing your habits, because habits are the bridges between your intentions and your results. No matter how inspiring your vision or how strong your desire, without habits that reflect high standards, your goals remain out of reach. Your habits are the silent architects of your success or failure. When your standards are low, your habits reflect complacency. You might find yourself procrastinating, making excuses, or settling for minimal effort. These habits become so ingrained that they feel natural, like autopilot steering your life. But these low-standard habits slowly erode your confidence and limit your growth. They create a feedback loop where poor habits reinforce low standards, and low standards reinforce poor habits, trapping you in a cycle of mediocrity. On the other hand, raising your standards disrupts this cycle by changing your habits. When you decide to refuse anything less than your best, you begin to cultivate habits that align with excellence. This might mean waking up earlier, Dedicating focused time to your goals, maintaining discipline even when motivation wanes, or consistently choosing healthy behaviors that fuel your body and mind, these habits become the visible proof of your internal commitment to higher standards. The beauty of habits is their compounding effect. Small positive habits repeated daily lead to exponential growth over time. Just as a tiny seed grows into a mighty tree, each habit strengthens your progress and solidifies your standards. The more you practice habits that reflect high standards, the more automatic they become. Eventually, these habits form the backbone of your character and your lifestyle, making success not just possible, but inevitable. Building new habits to raise your standards requires intention and patience. It's not about sudden perfection, but steady improvement. You must identify which habits serve your highest standards and which ones hold you back. This process often involves reflection and honest assessment of your daily routines, choices, and behaviors. Once you know what changes to make, it's about consistent action, even when it's hard or inconvenient, because discipline beats motivation in the long run. It's important to recognize that habits don't just influence your personal success, they also shape how others perceive you. People notice consistency, reliability, and dedication. High-standard habits build a reputation of professionalism, responsibility, and excellence. This reputation can open doors and create opportunities that further elevate your life and goals. Your habits become the foundation not only of your success, but of your influence. Finally, the relationship between standards and habits highlights a powerful truth. Change is a process rooted in daily choices. Every moment offers a new opportunity to reinforce your standards through action. By committing to positive habits that reflect your highest expectations, you build a life of purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. This ongoing practice transforms not only what you do, but who you are. In essence, to change your life, you must first change your habits. And to change your habits, you must change your standards. This chain reaction creates a powerful momentum that propels you toward the extraordinary life you desire. Embrace the power of habits as the practical expression of your standards, and you will find that success is not just a dream, but an inevitable outcome of the life you choose to live. The environment you surround yourself with plays a pivotal role in supporting or sabotaging the standards you hold. Your surroundings, both physical and social, can either reinforce your commitment to excellence or pull you back into old patterns of mediocrity. When you decide to raise your standards, it is essential to evaluate and, if necessary, transform your environment to align with the person you are becoming and the life you want to create. Your physical environment has a profound impact on your mindset and behavior. Cluttered, chaotic, or distracting spaces can drain your energy and focus, making it difficult to maintain high standards in your daily habits. Conversely, a clean, organized, and inspiring environment nurtures clarity and productivity. When your surroundings reflect your commitment to excellence, they serve as constant reminders of the standards you have set. Every detail, from your workspace to your living area, becomes a silent partner in your journey towards success. Beyond the physical, your social environment is equally critical. The people you spend the most time with influence your beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors more than you may realize. Surrounding yourself with individuals who hold themselves to high standards, who encourage growth and positivity, creates a supportive network that motivates you to stay committed. These relationships provide accountability, inspiration, and constructive feedback that reinforce your new mindset. On the other hand, toxic or negative influences can erode your standards quickly. When you spend time with people who tolerate mediocrity, make excuses, or discourage ambition, it becomes challenging to maintain your elevated expectations. Their energy can drag you down, sow doubt, and tempt you back into old habits. Recognizing and distancing yourself from such influences is a crucial step in protecting your progress and sustaining the momentum of change. Transforming your environment is not about perfection or isolation. It's about intentional design. Small changes like decluttering your desk, scheduling time with motivating friends, or limiting exposure to negative media can have significant effects. These adjustments align your external world with your internal commitment, creating a harmonious space where high standards can flourish naturally. The environment also serves as a feedback loop that strengthens your identity. When your surroundings reflect your standards, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who values excellence and growth. This alignment between your internal and external worlds builds confidence and makes it easier to sustain your new habits and mindset over time. Importantly, your environment influences how you respond to challenges. In a supportive setting, obstacles become opportunities for growth rather than reasons to give up. Encouragement from your network and a space that fosters focus and calm help you persevere. This resilience is vital because raising your standards is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey that requires sustained effort. Ultimately, changing your environment is a powerful way to protect and accelerate your transformation. It amplifies your commitment, reduces resistance, and creates a foundation for lasting success. By intentionally curating your physical and social surroundings, you ensure that every aspect of your life supports the high standards you have chosen to live by. Your environment is more than just a backdrop. It is a dynamic force that interacts with your mindset and habits. When aligned with your standards, it becomes a powerful ally in your quest for a better life. Choose it wisely, nurture it carefully, and watch as it propels you toward your highest potential. Belief is the invisible engine that drives every standard you set and every action you take. Without strong belief in yourself and your potential, even the highest standards remain hollow promises, easily broken under pressure. Changing your standards means first changing the beliefs that underpin them. Developing unwavering confidence that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of the life you envision. This belief is the foundation that supports your transformation and fuels your persistence through every challenge. Belief does not arise from wishful thinking or blind optimism. It is built through consistent experience and evidence that reinforce your capabilities. When you raise your standards, you commit to proving to yourself day by day that you can meet those standards. Each success, no matter how small, becomes a building block of belief. You learn that setbacks are not signs of failure, but opportunities to grow stronger and more resilient. This evolving belief shifts your mindset from doubt to certainty, making your standards real and achievable rather than distant ideals. A lack of belief often manifests as fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of the unknown. These fears act like walls, blocking your progress and tempting you to retreat into familiar but limiting habits. Raising your standards requires confronting these fears head-on and choosing belief over doubt. It's a process of rewiring your mind to focus on possibility rather than limitation. This mental shift is neither easy nor instant, but it is essential. Without belief, your standards will crumble at the first sign of adversity. To build strong belief, it's important to cultivate positive self-talk and affirmations. The words you say to yourself shape your internal narrative and influence your emotions and actions. When you repeat statements like "I am capable," "I deserve success," and "I can overcome challenges," you reprogram your subconscious mind to support your higher standards. Over time, these affirmations create a mental environment that nurtures confidence and determination. Another powerful way to strengthen belief is to visualize success vividly and regularly. Visualization engages your imagination and emotions, allowing you to experience the feeling of achieving your goals before they happen. This practice builds neural pathways in your brain that make success feel more familiar and attainable. When your mind is aligned with your standards, your belief deepens and your motivation intensifies. It's also critical to accept that belief grows through action. Waiting to feel fully confident before taking steps forward is a trap that leads to stagnation. Instead, taking consistent action, even when belief feels weak, creates momentum. Each small victory strengthens your belief, creating a virtuous cycle that propels you onward. Action transforms belief from abstract hope into concrete certainty. In moments of doubt, remind yourself that belief is a choice. You can choose to believe in your ability to grow and succeed, regardless of past failures or current challenges. This choice is an act of courage and self-respect, reinforcing the standards you have set. Belief empowers you to persist, adapt, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Ultimately, belief is the foundation on which all transformation rests. It transforms your standards from empty ideals into living truths that guide your decisions and actions. When you cultivate unwavering belief in yourself, you unlock a powerful force that fuels every step of your journey toward the life you desire. Without belief, standards are fragile. With belief, they become unstoppable. Discipline is the bridge between your standards and the reality you create. Without discipline, even the clearest vision and highest standards remain nothing more than dreams. Discipline is the daily commitment to act in alignment with your standards, especially when motivation fades or obstacles arise. It is the inner strength that keeps you moving forward, turning intention into action and potential into achievement. Many misunderstand discipline as rigid control or punishment, but it is much more than that. Discipline is a form of self-respect and love, a recognition that your goals and standards deserve your consistent effort. It's the ability to say no to distractions, temptations, and shortcuts that undermine your progress. Discipline allows you to prioritize what truly matters and invest your time and energy wisely, even when the immediate rewards are not visible. The power of discipline lies in its consistency. Success is rarely the result of sudden bursts of effort, but of steady, sustained action. Every day that you choose discipline over ease, you reinforce your standards and move closer to your desired life. These small daily victories build momentum, making discipline easier and more natural over time. Like a muscle, discipline grows stronger the more you exercise it. Discipline also creates freedom. This may seem counterintuitive, but the structured discipline provides actually frees you from chaos, procrastination, and wasted potential. By committing to disciplined habits and routines, you gain control over your time and focus. This control reduces stress and uncertainty, allowing you to channel your energy into productive and fulfilling pursuits. The freedom that comes with discipline empowers you to live intentionally and purposefully. Accountability is a powerful ally in cultivating discipline. When you hold yourself accountable, you strengthen your commitment to your standards. Accountability can come from various sources: journaling your progress, sharing your goals with trusted individuals, or using tools that track your habits. These measures create external reinforcement, making it harder to stray from your path and easier to maintain discipline over time. Discipline also demands flexibility and self-compassion. It's not about perfection or harsh self-judgment when you stumble. Rather, it's about recognizing setbacks as temporary and recommitting quickly. The disciplined person understands that progress is a journey, not a straight line, and that resilience is key to long-term success. This mindset keeps you engaged and motivated, even when challenges arise. When discipline becomes a natural part of your life, it elevates every area: work, relationships, health, and personal growth. Your standards are no longer theoretical concepts, but lived realities that shape your daily choices and character. The discipline to uphold your standards transforms obstacles into opportunities and dreams into accomplishments. Ultimately, discipline is the foundation upon which high standards stand firm. It is the unwavering commitment to yourself and your vision, even when the path is difficult. Through discipline, you harness the power to change your habits, mindset, and environment, creating a life that reflects the highest version of yourself. Without discipline, standards remain wishes. With discipline, they become your destiny. Patience is an often overlooked but essential companion in the journey of changing your standards and transforming your life. True change does not happen overnight. It requires time, consistent effort, and the willingness to endure setbacks without losing faith. Patience is the ability to trust the process and maintain commitment to your standards even when immediate results are not visible. It is the quiet strength that sustains you when progress feels slow or obstacles seem overwhelming. In a world that celebrates instant gratification and quick fixes, patience can feel counterintuitive. We want rapid success, immediate validation, and fast results. But meaningful growth is rarely linear or instantaneous. It unfolds gradually, shaped by small, deliberate actions and repeated choices over weeks, months, and years. Patience gives you the resilience to keep going during this long process, understanding that the seeds you plant today will take time to bear fruit. Without patience, frustration and doubt can creep in, tempting you to abandon your standards or settle for less than you deserve. This impatience undermines your progress and creates a cycle of starting and stopping, hoping for change but never fully committing. Patience breaks this cycle by allowing you to hold steady in your efforts and trust that consistent dedication will eventually lead to the results you desire. Patience also deepens your self-awareness and humility. It teaches you to accept where you are now while striving for where you want to be. This balance is crucial because it prevents the harsh self-judgment that can sabotage motivation. Instead of beating yourself up for slow progress or mistakes, patience encourages reflection, learning, and gentle persistence. It turns setbacks into lessons and obstacles into stepping stones. Another vital aspect of patience is understanding that transformation is not just about the destination, but the journey itself. Every step you take toward raising your standards shapes your character, strengthens your resolve, and builds your capacity for success. Patience allows you to appreciate these smaller victories and internal shifts, recognizing them as essential parts of the whole. This mindset shifts your focus from immediate outcomes to long-term growth. Patience, combined with action, creates a powerful force for transformation. It allows you to sustain effort over time without losing momentum or hope. When you cultivate patience, you build a foundation of resilience that supports every other aspect of change: belief, discipline, habits, and environment. This foundation holds you steady through the inevitable ups and downs of personal growth. In essence, patience is not passive waiting, but active endurance. It is a deliberate choice to keep moving forward with calm confidence and unwavering faith in your standards and yourself. Embracing patience transforms the journey of change from a frustrating struggle into a meaningful, empowering experience. It ensures that when your standards shift, the life you create does so deeply and permanently. Commitment is the unwavering promise you make to yourself to uphold your new standards, no matter what challenges come your way. It is the deep-rooted dedication that transforms fleeting motivation into lasting action. Without commitment, the highest standards and best intentions can dissolve under pressure or distraction. Commitment acts as the anchor that keeps you grounded and focused, especially when the journey becomes difficult or the results take longer than expected. True commitment goes beyond mere desire or wishful thinking. It involves a conscious decision to prioritize your goals and values consistently. This means showing up for yourself every day, even when you don't feel like it, when obstacles arise, or when external circumstances threaten to derail you. Commitment means saying yes to the hard work required and no to anything that compromises your standards. It's a profound act of self-honoring that fuels perseverance and resilience. One of the most powerful aspects of commitment is its ability to create clarity and eliminate indecision. When you are fully committed, your choices become simpler because they align clearly with your priorities. You no longer waste energy debating whether to follow through or give in to temptation. Instead, your actions naturally reflect your standards, and your focus sharpens. This clarity strengthens your momentum and reduces the likelihood of distraction or wavering. Commitment also builds confidence. The more you follow through on your promises to yourself, the more you trust your ability to create change. This trust fosters a positive cycle where commitment breeds action, action strengthens belief, and belief fuels deeper commitment. Over time, this cycle transforms your identity and empowers you to take on bigger challenges with courage and determination. Another vital dimension of commitment is accountability. Holding yourself accountable, whether through journaling, sharing your goals with others, or using systems to track your progress, reinforces your dedication. Accountability adds an external layer of support that makes commitment more tangible and harder to break. It also encourages honest self-assessment and continuous growth. It's important to recognize that commitment involves sacrifice. You may need to give up habits, relationships, or comforts that no longer serve your higher standards. This can be difficult, but it's necessary for genuine transformation. Embracing sacrifice with gratitude and understanding elevates your commitment from a burden to a purposeful choice aligned with your vision. Ultimately, commitment is the lifeblood of lasting change. It transforms intentions into reality and standards into lived experience. Without commitment, even the clearest goals and highest standards remain abstract and fragile. With commitment, you build a foundation so strong that no obstacle can shake your determination or divert you from your path. By embracing unwavering commitment, you take control of your destiny and shape a life that reflects the highest version of yourself. It is the promise that fuels every effort, sustains every habit, and empowers every breakthrough. Commitment turns dreams into achievements and potential into reality. Transformation is the ultimate outcome when you change your standards and fully commit to living by them. It is not merely about external success or fleeting accomplishments, but about a profound shift in who you are and how you experience life. True transformation reshapes your mindset, habits, environment, and identity, creating a life that aligns with your highest potential and deepest values. It is the powerful result of consistently raising your standards and nurturing every aspect of your growth. This transformation begins internally with a change in your beliefs and self-perception. As you hold yourself to higher standards, you start seeing yourself differently, not as someone limited by circumstances or past failures, but as a person capable of growth, resilience, and greatness. This internal shift rewires your brain and emotions, allowing you to approach challenges with confidence and optimism. Your thoughts and feelings begin to serve your goals rather than hinder them. Alongside this mental evolution, transformation reshapes your habits. Every new standard you adopt demands new behaviors, routines, and disciplines. Over time, these become automatic, creating a foundation of daily practices that support your vision. This shift in habit is the practical expression of your transformed mindset. It allows you to live your standards effortlessly and consistently, turning abstract ideals into real-life actions. Transformation also impacts your relationships and environment. As your standards rise, you naturally attract people and opportunities that reflect and support your new level of growth. Toxic influences fade away, replaced by connections that inspire and elevate you. Your environment adapts to reflect the person you are becoming, reinforcing your commitment and making your journey smoother and more fulfilling. Importantly, transformation is not a destination, but an ongoing process. It requires continuous reflection, learning, and adaptation. The standards you set today may evolve as you grow and expand your vision. This dynamic quality keeps you engaged and motivated, preventing complacency or stagnation. Embracing transformation as a lifelong journey allows you to continually renew your commitment and explore new levels of excellence. One of the most profound aspects of transformation is how it changes your experience of life itself. With higher standards, you develop greater clarity about what truly matters. You become more intentional, making choices aligned with your purpose and values. This alignment creates a deep sense of fulfillment, joy, and meaning that transcends temporary achievements. Transformation enriches not just what you do, but who you are at your core. Transformation also expands your capacity to influence and inspire others. As you embody your highest standards, you become a living example of what is possible. Your journey encourages those around you to raise their own standards and pursue their potential. This ripple effect creates positive change beyond your personal life, contributing to a greater impact in your community and world. It's essential to recognize that transformation requires courage, the courage to face your fears, confront your limitations, and embrace uncertainty. This courage grows as you see the benefits of your higher standards and experience your own progress. Each step forward, no matter how small, builds your confidence and fuels your willingness to push beyond comfort zones. Ultimately, transformation is the fullest expression of what it means to change your standards. It is the powerful, lasting result that emerges when belief, discipline, patience, commitment, environment, and action converge. Through transformation, you unlock the life you are meant to live, a life marked by purpose, growth, and true success. By committing to this journey and embracing every aspect of change, you ensure that your life will never be the same. Transformation is not just an outcome, it is a new way of being, a testament to the power of changing your standards to change your life.